Hey friends, this is the Miss Wolfie from our half-acre homestead with a poultry update. Now, I had a lot of people ask me when I released the broody hen video that hatched out the 10 chicks. I had a lot of people ask me why we didn't leave the chicks with mama. Okay? We didn't leave the chicks with mama because they were in a tire and they couldn't get out. The babies couldn't get out. And they needed water. We didn't put them in a different pen because we don't have a different pen. If you folks remember, my barn is gutted right now. And all of our periwinkle and ditto are up in a pen up at the top of the paddock. My kids are sharing the old chicken coop with the pigs. It's just divided by a skid, and they have the yard. It's as well. My silver lace Wyandottes are outdoors in a pen with just a piece of plywood over top of one end so that they can stay out of the rain. And we've got nowhere to house anybody. I have 4 laying hens plus the broody girl and the rooster are now, well, they've been free range forever. They've been free range since spring. And although they seem to be able to stay away from my neighbor's dogs and raccoons and stuff, they still manage to excite Gracie, and she chases them. Now, she is learning via a fly swatter that chasing chickens is not allowed. But if I had a broody hen with babies, I can't guarantee their safety from the neighbor's dogs, the raccoons, or my own dog until she's better trained. That's why they went into the crate in the porch. I've lost way too many chicks in the past. One year, we had a broody hen who went up in the hayloft and hatched out a bunch of babies, and the next thing I know, they're falling out of the trap door in the ceiling and getting stepped on by animals. So I'm really kind of careful. I know it's a lovely idea to let mama raise her chicks, but they are safer where they are. Now, people want to know why I didn't put her in the box with them. Folks, it's only like a 4 foot by 3 foot crate. And once she would get in there, if we put her in there, she would be scratching shit up. She would be throwing the stuff all over the place and dusting herself and all this stuff in a very small area in my porch. So, it may be all very romantic that the idea of letting mama raise her chicks, but I don't have the pen space for them alone. The pen that she hatched those chicks in inside the tire is the old turkey pen. And Papa beefed up the security on the turkey pen, and all my chicks, my bigger chicks that were in the porch, my guinea keats, my turkey poults, and my 8 chicks that I hatched out in the incubator are all in that one pen right now. And I told Papa, be sure you beef up the security. That's a lot of money in those. I paid a lot of money for those guinea keats and turkey poults. And I didn't hatch as many as I wanted, so they're in a pen to grow out, and they will get sorted later. I will be keeping 2 turkey hens and 1 tom. I've got the hiccups now. For breeding over the winter. The rest of those, there's 8 of them, so the other 5 are going to go in the freezer. The guinea fowl are an experiment. They really are. I have heard, all I remember is my Aunt Jane raised them. The eggs are totally edible, just like chicken eggs, just like pheasant eggs. They're all edible. But the guinea fowl are all dark meat. And they don't scratch, so they won't scratch up my garden like the chickens did this year. But they will eat bugs. There's a lot of downsides to guinea fowl. Apparently they're really noisy, and they will visit everybody in the neighborhood for a 5-mile radius. And they roost in the trees, and they freak out and make lots of noise, and some people don't like them for food and all that stuff. So they're an experiment. But once they are 6 weeks old, they are going to be let out of that pen to go wild. That's what guinea hens and guinea fowl do. They eat bugs, they roost in the trees, and they set off alarm systems and visit all your neighbors. I have no idea how well that's going to go, but if it goes well and I like them, I may just keep 2 hens and a rooster from them for next year. Now, my laying hens. One of the reasons my 5 laying hens and my rooster are out running around free ranging in the yard is because when the silver lace Wyandottes were about half grown, Papa put them in with my laying hens and my big rooster. And what a kerfuffle! So we had to let my birds free range as they did last year. And they seem to be fine. I'm not worried so much about raccoons and dogs and stuff because they have been looking after themselves now for 2 summers in a row. We overwinter them in the barn. As for my silver lace Wyandottes, they're in an outdoor pen right now. And that's usually the yard for the laying hens. Okay? But they're in it permanently for the summer right now with a plywood roof at one end because Daddy is redoing the barn. It's gutted. And it's going to take a couple more weeks before we get everything back together. There is also the fact that, plans change. I had planned, assuming I was going to get a 50% female hatch rate from the silver lace Wyandotte eggs that I hatched earlier in the spring, but I didn't. I got 3 hens. The rest are all roosters. So the roosters are going to be fryers and roasters and all that fun stuff. And the 3 hens come the fall, once the roosters are butchered and the barn is ready for occupation. My free range birds, 5 hens and a rooster. I've got the buff rooster and 5 crossbreeds. And the 3 silver lace Wyandotte hens are all going to be put together as my laying flock. So I'll have like 8 hens and a rooster. And I'll probably let the rooster roam the barn in the winter just so that he doesn't bother the hens all winter long in a smaller space. So the barn is gutted. Everybody's in temporary quarters. And I don't have the space to make sure those chicks are going to reach maturity unless I keep them in that brooder box in the porch. I'm only using a 40-watt bulb, and they're fine. This is the Mrs. Wolfe from our half-acre homestead saying, I hope that answered all the questions. If not, email me. You can find my email address and my mailing address at ourhalfacrehomestead.com in the Contact Us bar. All right? Take care. God bless.